All right, we'll call the meeting to order and ask everyone if you'll bow with us and have a word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, Lord. Thank you for the many blessings of it, Lord. As we come to the table tonight, Lord, to conduct the town's business, let us always be mindful of the things, Lord, to be pleasing to you, Lord. Also, as we come here tonight, be with those that are not only here, Lord, that have an interest in this town, but those in the entire community, those, Lord, in this state and in this country, Lord, and bless us all and be with our troops as they continue to be in harm's way. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, we'll have a pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank y'all very much. Appreciate it. Reading the minutes.
The Elkmont Town Council met in regular session Monday, March 16, 6:30 p.m. at the Elkmont Town Hall. Attending the meeting were Mayor Tracy Compton, council members Ronald Christ, Dustin Clark, Jack Gilbert, Tony Mims, and Tammy Presnell. Mayor Compton called the meeting to order and led in prayer. Following the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag, minutes of the March 2nd meeting were read by the clerk. A motion to approve the minutes with slight correction was made by Councilman Gilbert and seconded by Councilman Mims. Motion carried unanimously. Mayor Compton indicated we would like to try our new order of business where we would not have to suspend the rules of order, where we could conduct the town's meeting and allow public comments to be at the end. Mayor Compton indicated the ordinance for abandoned homes needed to be looked over. He indicated it was over 15 pages long and it needed to be looked over by each council member. The ordinance needs to define the abandoned homes and how to take appropriate action. Mayor Compton said Shane indicated under the State Code of Alabama, we could take action on abandoned homes. Councilman Chris indicated the company that installed the roof had found 30 leaks in the new roof. As of yesterday, there has only been one small leak after the repair. Councilwoman Presnell indicated that she is meeting with Morgan Ferguson on Friday at the depot to discuss the library project, and she hopes she can get started soon. A motion was made to approve the event permit for the Elkmont Free Health Clinic on June 6th by Councilman Christ and seconded by Councilman Mims. Motion carried unanimously. Jody Wilson was in attendance to discuss the next process for the Wilson stop. She indicated the contractor would like to get started on Wednesday. She said she had 2 invoices she would like to get paid on Friday. Councilman Gilbert indicated that there was a mobile home on Sparrow Lane that had built a pad that could possibly extend it into the town limit. It was discussed that Ronnie Kaufman may need to be contacted to verify town limits. A motion was made to approve 2 invoices for Wilson Stop by Councilman Chris and seconded by Councilman Gilbert. Motion carried unanimously. A motion was made to approve the paint colors for Wilson Stop by Councilman Mims and seconded by Councilwoman Presnell. Motion carried unanimously. Miss Tillery was in attendance to discuss a road issue that needs to be fixed. Mayor Compton indicated that it was the town's responsibility to fix and that we would reach out to the county for repair. Jada Young was in attendance and she mentioned that the event being held Saturday had 38 vendors and 2 food trucks scheduled. She also indicated that the main door needs to be fixed. The floor is soft as you come in the front door also. She also questioned when the awning would be in. Corey Wilson mentioned the summer program would like to do some landscaping in the park. The summer program would also like to do the mowing on the fields year-round. In addition, Corey Wilson to provide a quote for additional landscaping at Morris Park and Town Hall planters. Mayor Compton indicated the town received 2 grants from the state. One was for $100,000 and the other was $25,000. The clerk worked with the state to submit required paperwork needed. With no further business to discuss, a motion to adjourn was made by Councilman Christ and seconded by Councilman Gilbert. Motion carried unanimously. The meeting adjourned.
Any additions or corrections to the minutes?
Just so the record's clear, I didn't count the leaks. It might have been, there's a bunch of them. I'm sure I probably said 30. I'm just saying I didn't count.
Do I need to leave it?
We'll just let it go.
Let it go. Okay, okay.
I move we approve them.
I'll second.
All in favor? Motion carries. All right. We'll jump right into old business, which is where we've got most of the folks in here that are lined up in that area. So on town hall updates, I don't think we have anything going on here with the town hall. Project updates beyond that though is the roof, because we did have a request to pay the second half of the roof bill, and Ronald wanted to wait and make sure we got a good rain and verify that we were good on the roof before we did that. So I don't know if we've had that good rain yet, really.
We had a rain and I hadn't heard from Shannon that it leaked, and I did ask him when I got here, but I hadn't heard back from him on that. I think we're good, but I want to verify it.
Yeah, so as soon as it's verified, we'll pay that other half of that invoice. All right, very good. Wilson Stop, y'all are up next.
Okay. I got with the contractor, I mean, we've been working, his father is, on hospice, they're moving him into his home. And so he has had a lot going on, and he thought he was gonna have everything done by this weekend, he did not. So he said he's gonna stay up late tonight, get everything together. I sent you guys the latest invoices for what's been completed that has already been approved. I also sent you an updated summary, so you'll know what's been completed, what you paid for. And I sent you 3 invoices to be paid, hopefully this Friday. So, the next thing is the electrical. That's the next, I had an appointment with him on Wednesday. I told him to hold it until I heard from you guys, because it kind of sounded like you wanted to stop. So I sent Ron some more plans. It's the same exact plans from 215. I'm not sure that's what he's looking for, I don't know. I just keep asking the contractor and he keeps sending me the same thing, so if that's not what you're needing, please let me know.
The electrician's estimate said this only covers the plans he was given. I just need whatever he got.
So I sent that to you. I just sent it again today.
Is that what he got?
That's it, yeah.
Okay.
And this is his son, so it's, you know, that's what they're planning on, so. And y'all are welcome to come and look. I mean, there's been some incredible, Justin put in a HVAC last week, looks so good. All of the trim, what am I trying to say? No, I'm talking about all the wood. All of that's done on the inside. So it's looking like a real place now. So, and y'all are welcome. That back door, you can go in and look at it, so.
Well, the side window, is it walk up only, or is it going,
No, that's drive
it is
through.
gonna be drive through?
Yes.
Okay.
We were gonna do a walk up, but with all of that going on in the front with the garage doors, there just was not enough
Gotcha.
room to do that.
All right. Okay, yeah, I think we're just getting to the point, I think something like electrical is probably gonna be relatively straightforward, but trying to figure out what the end looks like before we get too, when we're
understand.
way into it, so
Yeah,
we just need to see that.
and nothing's really changed on the plans. I mean, what we've sent y'all and shown y'all is pretty much the same. The only thing he is looking at, he has not changed, is on the front, instead of awnings, just putting up a wood overhang, like a porch type overhang. He said it will last longer, it would be about the same price as awnings, but less trouble and more sturdy.
Yeah.
So he's looking at the comparison of that, that's the only thing that's,
Over the big doors?
yes, over the garage doors,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I told him, I
What
told him all
material
the
is gonna
troubles we had.
infill?
I'm sorry?
What material is gonna infill around those doors?
Well, I think it's still that rock, that he talked about the last time he showed you guys that.
I don't think
drawing.
we've gotten that here.
no,
Yeah, you got a picture of it, and it
I've
had the
asked for it
stone on
twice,
the
I
front.
haven't seen it. I've only seen it when I was over there with you. I ain't gotten a copy to have here.
Okay, I'll have him send that to you.
yeah, we kinda need the elevations of what this thing's supposed to look like when it's done. I know the floor plan changed from what we looked at already, so I hadn't seen that update of that either. And then all
What
this HVAC,
changed?
the floor plan was not what we first looked at, because I remember y'all talking about having to move some things at the very beginning, had to move some walls around from what was on the original thing that you drew, Ron. The only thing I've
Yeah.
ever seen is what you drew up.
Yeah, well, we looked at the one that shows that interior roof and stuff in here one night.
Yeah.
That had the changes at that point on it.
Right, okay.
It's the exterior is what we really
or
Hadn't
lacking.
seen.
So
Okay,
those are the elevations, I guess.
Yeah.
So we're
Okay.
gonna talk about the elevations, if we could get the elevations, I
Alright.
think that's,
and I think he's working hard to get
Yeah.
all that together for you.
but I think we may already have something, he may have already put something together, we just need to get it in here.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
cause you mentioned the rock.
Yeah.
That he already had something with that rock.
Yeah.
Maybe the awning would be not correct at this point, if you just change it in.
And that's what he's gonna, see, what
Yeah.
would be better for the long run. I told him all the troubles we've had with some awnings over here.
Oh, yeah, no, I would rather not have a cloth on it, for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's
so
much preferred.
I'll definitely, he's working on that.
Okay, all right.
So are we okay with electrical starting Wednesday?
Probably,
Or-
we'll let Ronald look and see if
Okay.
there's anything in it, but I think, that's kind of a straightforward thing, there's not
Right.
much, you just put plugs in the wall and there's not much,
Now, he is, putting in a new box.
Panel.
Yes,
yeah,
so that's the biggest thing
sure,
of the electrical.
all right.
Yeah, I'll inspect for these last 3 invoices that we got.
Okay. Thank you.
And look for that too,
Okay.
and try to get that
Perfect.
approved.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah,
we'll,
just
we'll
let me
get you
know.
something for it. You see, we could start as
Wednesday.
early as Wednesday.
I was supposed to meet him at 8 on Wednesday, so.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and do that, and let's
Okay.
see let's see if we can't get it squared away with it.
All right, thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Anything else?
Nope, we're good.
Is Mr. Corey out there?
Yes, he
Does
is.
Mr. Corey have us a quote, or is he working on
I
one?
should have it where I can email you it tomorrow.
Okay,
We've dealt with, Mama's got Alzheimer's and we've had a week with hers.
yeah, that's fine.
Excuses.
It's not, it's not critical, it's just,
No, okay. I'll make sure y'all get it tomorrow.
yeah, that's fine. Appreciate
Thank
it.
y'all.
Thank you very much. All right, let's see, roof, what's the style? Oh, the park lighting quote. Oh, Corey, are you involved in that? The park
Sorry?
lighting, I'm sorry.
What's that?
Are you aware of the park lighting quote?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
all right. So that was,
I'm not involved in that now, but I mean, it's something that need to be done.
yeah. So, we asked the summer program, usually what it's called, to come up with a plan of what they thought we needed for lights. So they've done that, and, there's 2 parts of it. One part is something I'm not sure that, we have to do, which is about the lights that are on the field. So are the lights on the field not shining on the field anymore, or?
Quite a few of them are shining. And like I said, you might wanna actually check with them.
Yeah.
'Cause my throat I'm still bleeding from where my throat was cut Sunday before last. You might
Really?
wanna actually check with them to make sure.
Okay.
But-
So, and that was a big
I know y'all
deal.
been checking with them for years, nobody's brought you nothing, so somebody jumps in, try to do something, and then everybody gets their feelings hurt. It's been amazing.
Oh, well, I think the part of it, that what we were talking about wasn't the ball field lighting, we were talking about the general lighting in the area.
Yeah.
And that was that was like, the quote would be half if you just talked about that, like, and I can't remember, I said.
I think there are 15 lights that are out, not working completely.
Okay,
Completely not working.
Yeah.
But yes.
but I think in the past, we've managed to, for those, get some help from like the city or somebody, to come and they would get up there.
He said a
and bring
lot
the
of
truck.
them have been trying to piece together and they exploded the, what's the LEDs don't have it, the ballast. The ballast is on a lot of them.
I think it was,
And we had talked about versus, this might be what we're talking about, but like on the fields versus the playground. And could we do like 1 or 2 on the playground part that?
He'd
are
look into
separate
that,
from-
yes.
Okay, okay.
But I noticed, was that on that email that we got, those
I
lights?
don't
Yeah.
remember, Jack.
well,
Some of them had photos.
24,360.
Yes, I think the 5, is it 4 or 5 that's in the playground? They've got photo cells like you mentioned last week.
Do we want the lights on all time or turn them on when people are there and turn them off when they leave? The photo cell is gonna be lit up all night.
yeah, and I think that's fine. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a switch on it in addition.
Yeah.
That way, somebody, if they leave it on, it's gonna cut itself off, and if they don't leave it on, it's off.
Is that the poles that are already there that have
Yes,
lights
sir.
on them?
And 2 of those out of the 5 are working, I think.
Well, that one over next to where the tennis court was, I remember
Yes.
it worked
It works, yes.
at one time.
It's working. Then there's one on field 3 that shines to the north. Then there's one behind the concession stand that's working, but the other 3 aren't.
Well, with good LED bulbs, that ought to light that place up well enough
You would
to
think so.
play out there.
We need one light at least from field 2 that shines toward the playground, because that's the darkest area. We walked up there the other night after it got dark. There is some light up there. It needs to be a lot more light around that playground, but we definitely need one somewhere close around field 2 that shines toward the playground, because that's the darkest area.
Would that, there's that pole, I guess, that has the, it's not a tall pole, but it's the one where the breaker is to turn the lights on, there's kind of to the north. If there was something on, and I don't think it has a light on it, would that be,
He had talked about putting some type of gooseneck, and I don't know if that's wood, metal,
yeah,
plastic conduit or something, extend it up higher.
right,
Where it would,
okay. Cause the only thing that we didn't get out of that, it was, again, it was not much detail to it.
no,
It was 20-something thousand, 11 or 12,000 of it was these ball field lights. So that, I was wanting,
180.
yes, I was wanting to defer that until we understood that better and try to concentrate on the thing we've been trying to get to, which is the rest of it.
Here is that light from field 2. And it's really dark.
Yeah. No, that's,
So-
I don't doubt it at all. So, I guess, yes, absolutely. So what I don't know for sure, and we don't have any, it's also said on there, this doesn't include any plans or anything like that. I'm thinking, well, if you're not gonna show me what you're gonna do, I don't know.
and I'm not sure which lights are going on. I know field 4, which is not used now, but it ain't got one pole that the lights work on. So there's no need to fix those till the ball field gets up and running. So the other 3 that's in use, I really don't know.
What's the soccer field for?
Now that was Ray wanting to, I mentioned that at the last
Yeah.
meeting. He was gonna make that, between field 3 and then the pine trees I was talking about. You was telling me where that gap is?
Yeah.
It's actually gonna be, between
So
Mr.
this is for adding lights there?
Yes, and that's really, a wish list.
And that's where partly they do the maintenance.
The car show, yes.
Right, yeah, okay, yeah.
But I seriously doubt you have any, Ray has a soccer team. I might be terribly surprised.
Well, I think we need a little more detail is my thing,
Okay.
There's not enough information there to make a decision. We know what it costs, but we don't know what we're getting for what it costs. We just know there's gonna be some
If I could
lights
get with
somewhere.
him and get him to flip the lights on, I could go up there, sketch, darken, we could see what you actually
Yeah.
need is.
I would
Yeah.
say this, we used to take a box truck, a boom truck, a lift, and we adjusted lights every year.
Yeah, that's what
Every
Jack-
year, you just turn them all on and you find all the dark spots out in the field and you go
Yeah.
move like that every year.
You don't
I
have
mean-
really anybody up there now with any initiative to,
Me and Jeff Hines have done Mary Jane's ball field one year. Took his bucket truck up there and adjusted those lights.
yeah,
We can do
and leave them alone, doing it.
We can get such.
Do you know who sent us that light quote? Where'd that come from?
I did, I got it from Dixie Electric.
Okay.
I called around to some of the city people, and they said they didn't. I thought about reaching out to Michael. I was gonna get 2 or 3 before you decide. I mean, you don't wanna just decide on one quote.
Right, no, and like I say, the fact that he didn't wanna tell us what he was gonna do without charging money, I thought, well, I'll take it, it's just, does not include any plan of what we're doing. It's just magic, I don't know, I'm not gonna commit money to something over what it is. But at least it's a start, so I think we're getting there. If we maybe get somebody else to go up there and give us that same kind of estimate, but also tell us where you're putting the lights
Exactly.
and make sure it's gonna fill the gaps of where the lights need to be, then I think we're well on our way to getting that done.
I will say this about the ball field lights. With those old bulbs that's in there now, the mercury vapor bulbs, if it's any way you could convert those to LED, you would save a lot on your power bill, your energy, and it's not as much load on the wire to pull the LEDs as it is those bulbs. And field 1 is the worst one. I've been up there 3 years in a row and changed breakers in field 1's breaker box
Is that right?
because of that reason. So, and I told them last year, they need to get that changed out or they're gonna have a burn up meter base. They're
Well,
gonna have to change the whole.
Mike, are we okay? Cause doesn't field 1 have half as tall poles and twice as many, right?
Yeah, it's got more poles, but it's got fewer lights on each pole.
Alright, so,
So can you just take the bulbs out that are there and put the LEDs in?
Some of them you can buy the replacement bulbs for LEDs, some of them you can't. I don't know about, cause some of those I've been working on those bulbs since my boys was 5 and 6 year olds. That's been a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But I just throw that out there.
So Corey, if you don't mind, if you could spend, let's talk about, if we're gonna talk about anything for field lighting, let's concentrate on field one then.
Okay. Get a
See,
couple more quotes.
see if we get a quote to
Okay.
include LED bulbs for field
And the
one.
reason lights don't work on field 4 is I took all the bulbs out of field 4 and fixed all the lights on the rest. That's right, that's the reason they don't work on field.
I got you, that makes perfect sense. But thank you for the quote, we just need to get more of that, so I think we're well on our way on the lighting, so that's excellent news.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Now, Corey, you mentioned that y'all wanted to cut the ball fields. Is that still,
I'm gonna do it, yes.
okay? Well, I tried to call the Clem boy a couple of times and tell him it'd be a change and he could just cut where the tennis court was.
Did get some grass, so they're starting to come up, so.
Yeah,
On the tennis court,
yeah,
got the bigger rocks moved up, so he can cut it, when he gets ready.
okay. All right, I just want to clear that with
Yes.
you on that. Okay.
Look it up. All right, anything else on lighting? We'll move down to event updates. The Pickle Fest, just a reminder, is May 16th. I did confirm today, Tammy, because I hadn't heard back from the ride people, and I got nervous, so I contacted them today. We were still on hold, which is why we hadn't had a request, so we've now paid the deposit, so.
Okay.
So the rides will be coming, 2 rides and a big slide, and somebody to man each one of those. Deputy pay, so we had a deputy come up here to support the half marathon, which I guess I should have had enough sense to think it's gonna be a half marathon, it's not gonna be in Elmont. So it wasn't, about 1 minute into the run, they had left the city limits at that point, and never to be seen again, but, well, they really were, eventually they came back through. But we paid for it, we paid the deputy, but we really didn't pay him because we didn't cut him a check. So undoubtedly, one of the deputy rules that we didn't know about, Tanya, is that if we hire them, and they're more than happy to come and support, they get their check at the end of the detail. So whenever we do that, we need to make sure we have cut the check and have it ready at the same time. So go ahead and cut his check. He's out of town now, he'll be back Thursday.
Do we pay them directly or do we pay it to the sheriff's department?
I think we pay them directly.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, this Lieutenant Robertson is the one that came up and did the road round in front of the Hound Dog Half.
And for any races in the future, they need to submit an up-to-date map of where they're going.
Yeah,
Because the one that I got, they didn't go there.
yeah.
Really?
None. Had all the cones out
And
there, but
that's
weren't any human
Came
beings
with
there.
an event permit, you know?
Yeah. Kind of let the air out of me after I did that, you know?
Yeah,
So-
they were not in Elmont, they were never downtown other than passing through. Nobody ever stopped down in here. They was all, started at the school, ended at the school. All right, let's see.
I only saw one runner too. I mean, I know there's probably more, but I only saw one runner. Usually we see,
Uh-huh.
It's probably really fast or really slow.
I don't know.
There's more people handing out water than there was running.
I wasn't running, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So anyway, we do need to, and Tanya, this is a question for you, whenever we get somebody that does a submittal here, especially like they did, because theirs was way in advance. Most people don't give it to us soon enough. These folks gave it to us as soon as we'd forgotten about it. We need to get that on the calendar and then set you up a tickler where you can look at what's coming up.
Updated the chart for
Yeah,
that,
so
yeah.
we can do that each time. All right, next on the agenda is the summer library program, which maybe I'm the only one lost on this, and maybe I misunderstood that email, Tammy. What do you think what's that email about in the summer program, summer library?
She went in there, we went and toured it, and she has just got a ton of ideas. I mean, she's got just excellent ideas. It went way more than what we've all ever seen over here that they've ever done. So I think that's just where she was. She just saw a bigger pasture than what it really was.
Yeah.
So I think that's all it was.
Okay,
She's just got a bunch of good ideas, really, but that's not what we have over there.
right, yeah, that building's for other uses other than
Yeah.
that, but what about the things that maybe I just misinterpreted what was meant when this word of salary?
No, it's volunteer.
Okay, so And then there was something, there was 2 or 3 things on there I didn't understand.
Laptop.
Oh,
Yeah, she
laptop,
won't, yeah, she just had bigger ideas, I think.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Um,
But I do think that we need to decide if, like, used to, when they came over there, you could check out books and stuff like that, you know, and there's a ton of books over there, but a lot of them are not in really good shape at all. So that's gotta be decided if we're gonna allow any of those books to leave or anything like that, because I don't know that they're gonna hold up to leave and come back in any kind of shape, because they're not in great shape anyway. So that's gotta be decided on whether or not we're gonna do that, or, and, you know, if she needs to do it there in the library room or out in the depot part, you know, in the bigger room. So,
I think it's time for them to do crafts and stuff out in the big room, huh? I mean,
Yeah.
why not? That's what it's there for.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just another group of people to use the facility. I think that's fine. I just don't want to, you know, it's just not to be.
no, it's not to be changed.
Yeah, not to be
Yeah.
changed.
Yeah.
And I'm not opposed to getting some kind of computer system over there to, if they are gonna do anything like letting books come and go, then we'll have to have some way of
Yes,
keeping
keep it
track
up
of
with it.
that. So that's, I don't think that's a problem. I just didn't think it had been talked about. So I was just trying to make sure.
Yeah,
Maybe I missed a meeting and there was more detail to this. Than
no,
what I was-
no, she has a lot of really good ideas, and I think it'll be a great thing, and I think she can grow it with what she's got in mind.
Yeah,
I think it'll grow into something way bigger than what we've always had before.
yeah.
But,
Well, I think it'd be good.
yeah, I think it'd be really great, I really do.
And I think when I mentioned about the equipment in there, I get, but the point that didn't really make clear at all was that the seniors took what they wanted. So what's in there now is what they didn't want. So, and we don't want it.
Yeah,
So that stuff needs to be put in a dumpster, you know, as far as I'm concerned. It's surplus stuff that's in the way. I mean, I'm not talking about the antiques and tables, I'm talking
Yeah.
about the old exercise equipment, stuff like that. You know, that's just stuff they left.
yeah,
They accumulated it, but they didn't take it with them. So, so all of that I think is good. The deep cleaning is good, you know, all that stuff would be great. Both, the whole building as far as that goes. I think all that would be a great thing if they can do that.
so we're good with it, we're good with her cleaning and not throwing anything away, just maybe setting it aside, and then we can look at it to see if it's,
If it's exercise equipment stuff, as far as I'm concerned, they throw it all away. But we can walk over there right after the meeting if you want to.
Okay.
Or you can just go take an inventory and let us know what's in there. I know there's an old desk and old chairs that we don't want to get rid of that was been in there for years, but that's not the senior exercise stuff. Some of that's just junk. All that needs to be disposed of, so that would be fine. And there's a big bench in there, I don't know what we're gonna do with it, it's too big to put anywhere. So,
yeah.
you know, so,
Well, it's not, that big green one,
yeah,
well, sometimes you get an overflow of people, it's right up against the wall, they just sit, you know, we just keep it.
yeah. It was moved out of this room and now it's in that other room. That's what it got moved out when we were cleaning out for something else.
Oh,
So it
okay.
had to get moved back, but, that's the only kind of big thing that's not exercise equipment I can think of offhand that's in there. That need to be dealt with. And then, of course, I don't know what all, not really that much stuff in the back, except it's maybe those cases, display cases and stuff. But yeah, it all needs a good deep cleaning for sure, so. I think we're all for sprucing it up, cleaning it up, getting all the exercise equipment out, and y'all tell me if you disagree with anything I'm saying. And then coming up with, you know, I don't think. there's any
Something to
problem.
be able to check out the books.
Yes, well, I think we could, a laptop for that, I don't think it'll be a
Okay.
problem.
Okay. And she's also gonna do a older kid reading program for so many weeks during the summer. So a lot of the books in there will get used maybe.
Yeah, so that'd be good. And yeah, you're right, we'll have to figure out what to do if we end up with a bunch of not very good books, or
Yeah.
not in good shape. It'll be
Yeah.
a different discussion.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so we'll move along with that, looks like that's heading in the right direction. We have a request to be on the zoning board. As you guys know, we've run short of folks to serve lots of times, and we actually have somebody who wants to serve. So, there he is right there, Randall's here, Randall Tyler has requested to be appointed to the zoning board of adjustments. And I think that'd be outstanding, and I recommend that we do just that. So We have a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Press, all in favor? Motion carries. By the way, when business is done, you're welcome to go. You know, you stay or go as you please. But, so, Radford, do you have anything in particular you want to say? I know you're up there in a
Well,
area
I
that
mean,
needs some.
some of these houses, I mean, they're, you know, they look abandoned. You got houses that are abandoned that's been burnt for years. You know, they just drive off and leave it, and it's up and down our road, and you know, everybody in here pretty much knows me, and they know who I live beside, and I mean, right now he has no water, no lights, and he just piles stuff in the yard. You know, we've done put privacy fences up and put down, you know, the green giant trees to grow up for a barrier and stuff, but still, that just takes that eyesore away from me, but it doesn't fix it.
Right.
You know, it's still there. And if we're gonna beautify Elmont, and the walking trail goes right down here, then it comes right up our road. The city's done spent money to put new asphalt on the road. You know, and we do have the walks and the trails that comes through there, but even though that we've got our place looking good, but once you go past that, then that's another eyesore.
Right.
You know, so, you know, I'm not looking at it, but what about people that comes to Elmont, that walks the trails and comes through, and they see that? You know, if we're gonna clean downtown up, we need to clean the whole city limits up.
Yeah,
And
Don?
you see a lot of people during the summer ride by just pointing.
Sure.
You
I
do.
mean, you like, they just
And I
sit
mean-
there like,
and
it
you
makes
know-
us look bad because
And here's the thing, I know everybody don't have a lot of money, okay? But the thing about it is, it don't take nothing but a little bit of sweat and a little bit of elbow grease to pick up garbage,
That's right.
Yep.
you know? And the garbage truck runs every Tuesday up that road. You know, and I mean, that's just what I'm saying, it's just, people needs to be a little bit more involved in the community.
Thank you, I agree with you 100%, and I know you brought up to me that you were aware that we're working on an abandoned building.
Right.
Ordinance, and we, it ended up being, well, you started in the midst, it's longer than I anticipated, and we do need a review of that by the council so we can update the zoning book, which will be your governing document that the zoning board uses, is that book. So the reason we have an update, we've got a few other updates in there that we could go ahead and pass on, but I wanted to get this abandoned building in there and just do it one time. So I think we're very close to that. Shane's provided us a second draft of what he thinks is applicable and would be suitable for us. And I don't know, maybe, did you get a chance to, I'm gonna ask you right on the spot here, Dustin, have you looked at it?
I did, and I didn't have any issues with what I saw in it.
Because I thought maybe you might be one of the closest ones to have an interest in reviewing it to make sure, you know, think about what it might or might not imply in there that we don't, you know, aren't aware of. Shane seems to think it's fine, you know, he doesn't think there's any problem with it at all, so.
Now, Tracy, if all this comes to pass and we do this, what about like abandoned cars, where people just park cars and let them sit for?
We haven't tried to address that one yet. We're just in the piles of, you know, unoccupied
Right.
buildings first. Is kind of where we're starting, I guess I'd say. That's for sure an issue. Now, the fact that people may live in conditions that we don't think are good is actually not addressed. If they're living there, they're living there, no matter what the condition might be. But if they're not living there, like Marty's old burnt out house, you know, for instance, it just stood there. And
What about if there's kids living there?
then that's a health department issue. That's not, you know, that's outside. The health department's the only people we've ever been able to go to try to get remedy to any kind of like rat infestation. You know, we've tried everything to get
Right.
from a health standpoint. And maybe if there were kids involved, that maybe that would be something, you know, Child Protective Services may be able to do something for that situation. But right now, the one thing we're trying to get them to address is just an abandoned homes that have nobody involved. And that's, so I would say, maybe at the next meeting, let's look at that, and let's try to move forward on that one. And
Yeah,
then
I read over what we passed out last meeting,
Yeah,
and I didn't see
that was
any
the latest.
issues with that, because we had talked about it the first time, and we were like, well, we went back and I think had some verbiage changed, because could it be outbuildings or barns or whatever?
Right.
We didn't want it to, you know, go that far, but this last one, now I'm not a lawyer, but I didn't see anything in there that I disagreed with or thought was overstepping, so.
We got sent it to us, was a lawyer.
So, that's on pay, yeah, not me.
Yeah, no, but I appreciate you reviewing it. So if the rest of y'all take a look at that, and maybe we'll, at the next meeting, we'll be able to move forward with that, so I think that'd be great.
And ours is based on Athens.
It
that
is.
Shane did, and they've gotten rid of a couple of hundred houses in Athens.
Yeah.
Some of them had people in it,
Yeah.
you know, so it works.
So how does this work? Do you basically go in and the town pays to clean the property up, and then you send the homeowner a bill?
That's
And
like
if the
the,
homeowner does not pay, then
think
you
it just
can,
gets worse
you
and
can go
worse,
to the
yeah.
lawyer about
Yeah.
it, and if they don't pay, then basically auction it off, or it goes to the town, or how does this work?
You go to, first off, you put a red tag on it. Bert Bedford used to do that in Athens.
Mm-hmm.
You do that. Then you send the landowner something about, he has so many days to improve the structure or get rid of the structure.
Okay.
And if he doesn't do that, then we can start. And we can get rid of it, and you put a lien against the property. You know, so if the property sells, we get our money. Now, if they just sit there and hold it forever, I don't know. We might
That's
have.
called a mechanics lien.
Yeah, but now the buildings we've had taken down, this old house down here, and some other things have not cost us a fortune. You know, they've been very reasonable, and I would go to that same guy again. And, he's done us really good, almost.
so we're, you know, and that's a big change for Elmont, to something to go, to even consider something that drastic. But I guess we're, you know, we live in different times where people just don't have, everyone doesn't have, I won't even say the same standards. Some people just don't have much of a standard at all. Or, you know, they don't live here, they're not even here, you know, so I say they don't have a standard, they don't care, because they're not even in the state. You know, they just own property in town, and they're not even in the same state, so they have no incentive they bought with no incentive to improve or maintain. I guess it's just a speculative purchase, thinking that one day they'll sell the property and somebody else will clean the house up, you know, in some instances. So this is just something that will address that. And like I say, we're going as, my recommendation, we're going as little into this as possible to get done what we feel like we have to get done, and hopefully that'll be enough to move us along forward. But yeah, who knows what might be next, you know. I never want to be the town that has the ruler measuring how tall your grass is. But, you know, that's, you know, my son-in-law, they have a little knoll behind, my daughter and son-in-law have a little knoll behind their house, and they're in a cul-de-sac with a little, the yard police came by the neighborhood, and where the knoll went up and the grass then went up on the knoll, it looked like the grass was that tall. So they wrote them up that their grass had gotten too tall in the backyard, you know, so. But anyway, hope we don't get, you know, not planning to go there, but an abandoned home is a different story. We've got some of that I think we can clean up. But Randall, thank you for your interest. We appreciate your interest in Elmont, and thank you for being willing to serve on the board.
Okay.
And Margot, by the way, we got you appointed, we swapped you over and got you on the zoning board already. So thank both of y'all very much. All right, anything else on that? Next is Michael. Fire department.
Right.
Come on in here.
I, just.
Uh-oh, wait a minute. You didn't say.
I brought a surprise with me.
He was hiding.
I made y'all a copy.
Oh, good, thank you.
This is the job description you'd asked for me to print. In the last sheet is just some things that we went over in the last meeting, discussed. And we're not looking for a vote tonight by no means, because I would like to sit down and meet with y'all.
Yeah.
Before we put anything.
Kind of just have a work session kind of deal.
Sure. Y'all don't care.
Yeah.
But that's a copy of the job description, for the firefighter job. And then, like I said, the back page is just some things we wrote down that we discussed. Y'all can look over that and discuss it. But I brought Tony down here tonight because y'all know, I don't know if y'all are aware of it or not, but we're on our 10-year anniversary of being in a new building.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, we're working on the 10-year celebration. which we're gonna invite the city council, the community. But Tony just he got some numbers just to give y'all where we come from December 2012, from when all the debacle went down with the, y'all know who I'm talking about, I don't say no names, but anyway, but Tony's got some information that I just feel like that y'all need to know, that what y'all doing to help us has really, really helped the community. And to be where we're at right now is an understatement. We should have shut the doors 10 years ago, is what should have happened. So I'm just gonna let Tony just go over some stuff and just give y'all some.
Again, thank y'all. There's several here. I know that from 12 or 13 years ago, where the fire department was around the corner to where we're at now. And like Michael said, myself being involved, him and several others that are in the department, along with a lot of y'all sitting here that were aware of what was going on back then. 13 years ago, the department couldn't buy a pack of bubble gum. I mean, we were on the verge of having to shut the doors. I mean, it wasn't going to exist. And we're quite tickled. This is 10 years of being in this. We signed the loan on that property in that building on May the 19th, 2016. The initial loan was $305,351. We spent roughly, before we started, between the 10-year anniversary of this year, backing up 2 or 3 years before we started fresh, we came to the town council. For some of y'all that are here, some of you don't know, we didn't have a relationship for other reasons. We developed a relationship with the town council. The town council has been overwhelmingly fantastic with the fire department in your community. For the others y'all are sitting here, and we would like that if you tell other people, you speak to other people in the community, to let them know the town council has supported the fire department for the last 12 years unbelievably. We wouldn't be where we're at now if it wouldn't have been for that. We had saved in that 2 or 3 years $100,000 and set aside to start the building. We knew it was going to be a lot more, but we thought if we got $100,000 to go to the bank and say, here, we've got this to put down, we can do something. We spent about roughly $80,000 up front and then closed this loan. Roughly right now, we're 10 years into that loan come May, we owe roughly $175,000. The loan we paid is $2,000 a month. We've paid an additional, forgot to look it up, roughly $12,000 to $15,000 extra during the past 10 years. On top of that, again, the people that may not know, and some do know, the property was donated to us. That was a big plus. Doyle Weeks, that did live in the house on the corner, purchased that property when it went up for auction, and he knew we were looking for property. We didn't have the money for property on top of building a building. He was very involved with supporting the department when they lived here. He said, when I get that property, how much do y'all need? And the one stipulation at the time was, when I get the property, I'm gonna donate what y'all need. You let me know how much, and y'all can pay for the deed and the transaction. Well, after said and done, it was a lot of paperwork. Don't worry about it, I'll pay for it. I'll take care of it. So the property we're sitting on was totally 100% donated by Doyle Weeks' family. The department didn't have to pay a dime for that, not even the paperwork. We got a lot of help in building that property between Brent Hawkins, Byron Hodges with the cabinets. A lot of people's asked, our kitchen, if you haven't been in there, for those that have been, our kitchen was not what was planned. It turned out to be what we didn't plan on, fantastic. Fuzz, that many of you know, Philip Hastings, where he works, a lot of those original, all the original appliances were probably a half price or less what he got a deal on for. So I say all this because our appraisal that comes through will be due again this year that we all get on our property. We're tipped with the fact that I was saying all that, where we've been, what we've done, what y'all have done, what other people have done for us in the community. The assessed value of that property now is $1,200,000, what we're sitting on. And we roughly have $400,000 in it. That's not including a roll of toilet paper, that's not including a piece of equipment, that's a building and property. So we started out, I mean, we're quite tickled that in 10 years, Elkmont community has got an appraised value for a fire department, they're sitting at 1 point. With equipment and everything, you're 1.5, you're bumping $2 million for a fire department. And for y'all that don't visit or don't know, and I understand why not say it, there's 12 departments in Limestone County. We have, and I say it and you say, well, it's just because I'm involved. Yes, I'm involved, but we have the nicest fire department out of Limestone County, period. We have fire departments and people that come and see our department go, wow, this is better than where our city fire department is. So I mean, I'm tickled and want to share it because where we're at, it's unbelievable in 12 years because I know Joe, and I know Tracy knows, I know Jack knows, I know Ronald knows how we met, but really 13 years ago we were broke. And I feel I'm proud that I've been to be a person involved in doing it. And we've got many others in doing it. We just want to share the fact that we're rolling into 10 years up there in that new building and just where we're at.
And continue to make improvements.
We've got equipment. The oldest piece of equipment we got now, and we probably will keep it till it quits, is what we call Jesse, is the 94 brush truck. We keep that because that's just part of the department. We've got a 2008 the Ford F-150 from you guys, from the town. We've got a recent 2024 our brush truck, if you hadn't seen, is brand new. We've got a 2001 fire engine and a 2003. We were sitting on 89 and 91s. And so we've got fairly, I mean, that's 10, I mean, that's 20 or 20-year-old vehicles, but in the fire service, I don't know if any of y'all have seen that, but there was a real good report on volunteer fire departments around the country and the state on 48 News last week. A real good story they did about how volunteer fire departments are going under and starving and can't survive. And I guess, like I said again with that, with the Swamp Johns, for y'all that don't know, that don't come and tell I wish your friends, thank you from us. The Swamp Johns, if you don't know it, they love coming to Elkmont. When we started doing Swamp Johns 7 years ago, you had to pre-sale tickets to see that we were committed. They had to sell 200 tickets. We did, no problem. So 200 tickets, the community came out. And I don't know, it was overwhelming. Within a matter of weeks, they called my office and said, hey, y'all don't need to pre-sale anymore. We'll show up. Y'all have the people. We have ranged people we've ranged from 585 plates sold to 480 plates. We're 500 give or take plates from the community, and we're probably, I don't know for sure because you try to ask other departments that kind of wants to share that. I feel like, me and Michael feel like we're probably the best community turnout for Swamp Johns in Limestone County. Swamp Johns people, they love coming here. They don't turn us down. And again, that's because of you. That's because of Elkmont community, the people that stand behind us. And from me and from the department, I mean, we appreciate it. It's you don't get to see people and tell them all the time, and we have to see people at the wrong time. But
and we just don't come down here all the time just to ask for money. We do just come to visit.
We have Michael saying that for y'all. A lot of Michael knows a lot of the faces and some of the new ones on the council. No joke. I got to talk all night long, but we were told 13 years ago, don't talk to y'all. They're no good. They can't work with you. You can't work with you. And I'll tell you firsthand, after everything blew up and happened and we came to the city council the first time, I'll tell right now, Jack Gilbert's gonna be hard to deal with. I didn't know. I didn't know that.
I hacked him off so bad one night.
I'm not originally from here. We lived here 26 years now, but I mean, we were told don't talk to the city council. You can't work with them.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know it, me and Michael One or two other people walked in the first time, and no joke, we walked in, told them what we had planned, what we wanted to do, and we've never come. If we came in and asked, if we come in and asked for 5,000, we get 6. If we come in and ask for 10, we get 11. No matter what, y'all have turned out and turned up for us, and we appreciate it. It doesn't get said enough, but we do appreciate it. And it's great to serve the community. With that, we've got right now, you go through the ups and downs in the fire department, it's like, all of y'all that's been involved with your kids with baseball, basketball, football, cheerleading, you've got the ones that will help and the ones that won't. And it's a roller coaster. We are now and still and have been for several years, we have got a fantastic group. You've got some young guys and ladies in the department that have to come to your house for a bad situation, house fire, medical condition, whatever. We've got a good group of young, healthy people that are committed and serve and do a lot of training. Michael knows more about the training, but we do. Elkmont does more training than in the history of the fire department existing. It's fantastic. So just kind of let y'all know where we're at. One other thing I'll shut up, we would like to, at a convenient time, anybody would, especially council members, we did a picture of the groundbreaking of roughly 11 years ago. And we would like to one evening sometime when y'all can, maybe the next meeting y'all plan or something, if we can, it would take 10 minutes, if we could meet maybe at the fire station and make an anniversary picture. We'd like to do a new one.
Yeah.
Well, so we can hang it on the wall beside us.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, y'all been nothing but great after Elkmont. I mean, everybody here knows it, and, it just gets better all the time. I mean, y'all had an ambulance up there for no telling how long before I ever knew it. Just the fact that we have that type of service, because y'all provide them a place, and y'all do so much, not just in what you're chartered to do, but the things that reach out and touch other people and find other ways to serve, and the helipad, and I love hearing the helicopter come along.
And with the ambulance, for those who may or may not know, you do have an ambulance that, unless it's on a call, Monday through.
Well, right now it's 7 days a week, but if they have somebody call out, then this truck's the first one that gets pulled back to Athens. So
yeah,
supposed to have one here 7 days a week, 6 to 6. So
you do have an ambulance, and you see it there, it's because they stay there when they can or not on a call. We have an ambulance in the area.
And they normally park in the back, so that they're hid, but starting next week, they'll be parked out front because they're starting on the redoing the parking lot. They're gonna pave it and get away with all the gravel, so redo the drains and all that, so.
And of course, we already had great EMT service in addition to that, but I'm just saying, it's just another layer of support to the community that you guys have done, and you're right, I mean, we've never turned you down, we never had a reason to doubt what you're doing, right? I mean,
thank y'all.
We appreciate everything y'all
The
do.
department does, I mean, we discussed it in the meeting, and
Yeah, I know y'all don't hear it enough, but we do. We really do appreciate everything y'all do for us. Without y'all,
My homeowner's insurance appreciates
Thank y'all.
Michael, you do need a directional thing though on that new broad.
Hey, we working on that. If I can get the price of it down, we working on it.
Okay, all right.
All right, so this was something we'd asked Michael for, a meeting or two ago. These are things that they are talking about doing and being able to do, and for the town, so, I just was glancing through, it's just good gracious, just tons and tons and tons of stuff, but the most important, probably things that we have to try to sort out, and now that I've got this, I can get with Shane on it and see, which is things that are outside of what I would consider general contract labor provisions. How do you cover somebody for time off when they're a contractor that's just getting paid for their time? And I understand their position. They're trying to provide essentially it's somebody's salary. So at first I thought what the real concern is that they worried that they wouldn't get, that it wouldn't be consistent, right? They wouldn't have a consistent paycheck. So I thought, well, once they understand, no, we'll commit to the 40 hours a week at some rate pay, then I figured that would solve the problem. Because their desire, and I don't think it's because they just absolutely think it's the way it's gotta be, but that's the only way that, it's the quickest way that makes sense to anybody is if they work for the town, they get whatever the benefits the town provides, which we provide none, except time off and workers' compensation. So the two things that they're asking for, Tanya has, but nobody else does. And contractors, I don't know, right? So I have to get with Shane to see if there's anything that can be done there. But that's, that'll be my next stop, on this job description. So yeah, they're a great bunch of folks and yeah, they've done nothing but been outstanding for over a decade for sure. All right, no process updates that I had. Tanya did have, and it's in here about the statement of economic interest. This is a yearly form you have to fill out, and it's pretty easy if you can get to the thing and get it done. But right, as of now, if I'm not mistaken, it remembers you from last year. I think,
You
doesn't
can
it?
pull like the last
Yeah.
one you did, because I've already
Yeah.
done mine.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And so that makes it pretty easy. So that'll,
And I just need the printout that you did with the email, okay? So I can put it in the file.
Yeah.
That
So-
y'all completed it.
we need a record, right? We want to make sure we have a printed copy of a record that we completed it, just in case they lose it. We can go back and say, no, here it is, we did it. So, and this is one of those that they get upset if you don't do, so that one is important. Any other old business? I jumped into new business too far. Any other old business, anybody? Any new business that I missed? Not, we'll go around the room. Margot, do you have is that list of people? Yeah, there we go. We'll run around the room here and see what we got. Anybody needs to, would like to make a comment tonight, we'll welcome that. Ms. Gay,
Just thanks for setting up.
Holden Rose.
My patch road.
All right, thank you. Ms. Wingard,
I'm good.
Mr. Flanagan,
No, sir, I'm good.
Randall. I'm good, thank you. Ms. Randall,
I'm good.
Ms. Melissa, Mr. Christensen, Beth,
I'm good.
and Margaret.
We need a policeman.
We do.
We've got to have one on the payroll because we haven't had one since November.
That's right.
Well, around school, around the park, they're flying down through there. They have no accountability. Somebody's gonna get killed.
I wrote too.
So we need a policeman. It's not an option anymore. It's a necessity because everybody in Elkmont knows that we don't have anybody up here to be accountable to. And around the school has always been an issue with speeding,
Sure is.
but it's worse now.
All right, thank you very much for that.
And also at the park during ball games, we need a policeman because the other night we had 4 people handicapped, 3 in wheelchairs. They had nowhere to park. We had referees, umpires in the handicap parking spots. We had very able-bodied people getting out of big monster trucks in the handicap parking. So we need somebody that's gonna go up there and say, move, get out,
Yeah.
give these to the wheelchairs.
I do not disagree, and we do have the sheriff's department's phone number, so that's their job.
Yeah, well, they're not coming up there because they were called the other night. And they're not gonna come up there just to take care of somebody parked in handicap parking. That's pretty much what we were told.
Okay, all right, thank you for that. Anything else?
Not tonight, oh, next time.
Think of something else. When you get your lights done, what you wanna do next? We're gonna
Well, I have something in mind, but since y'all talked about the lights, I'll wait till
let
the
it
next
go.
meeting.
All right, we'll wait till another time. All right, any other business come before the council? Someone else out there?
Somebody.
How are y'all?
Fine.
My name is Jim Smedley. I just moved here probably 2 years ago. My mom and dad are Mark and Kathy Smedley. And I'm here because Mr. Gilbert took some time to answer some questions for me, and he was really kind. And he said, well, come up here.
Jack?
Yeah, Mr. Jack.
He kind of gone both ways for you tonight.
Yeah, right. I caught him on a good day. Well, he took time to answer some questions that I had. I live on the end of Cotton Spring Street, and it ends at the tree, but the property line continues. And I would like to purchase the property, but I got some questions about how to access it and looked for some advice. You know, I'm young, and he just took initiative and helped me out. So I kind of come up here to see what we could do about it.
All right, good deal. So I think Jack and I talked about that today, and I think everything's pretty straightforward. We can always go to our attorney if there's anything in doubt. But that road, as it's laid out, you know, they just paved to where they wanted to, the people that put the road in. I do think, and you correct me if I'm wrong, you do connect to that road?
Yes, sir.
And this adjoining property would or would not connect to that road?
It would.
It would, okay. So that's your easy answer on access, is that you have connection to it. I think that, whoever owns the rest of the way down through there, because that's not, the town didn't put that street in, the person, whoever developed it put the street in, so in other words, the town's not building streets right now down through there, but you have access, so that's the most important. But you don't want to get landlocked and not be able to get to the road. The only other thing I can think of is that every lot has to have its own, has to be surveyed independently. In other words, you can't have two houses on one lot. So, we have minimums, square footage of lot size, that's all in the zoning book. But, so whatever size this property is, let's say it's big enough to be subdivided, you would have to subdivide it if you were to have multiple structures on it. One survey plat for each home. And then there's a minimum square footage for homes of 1,000 square foot.
And then as far as my neighbor, so my house is here, she's in front of me, and then that road runs through the middle. You know, her grandmother planted a tree there 25 years ago. She's been cutting it. It's her yard. I can't just bulldoze it. I have a good relationship with her, and I'll of course speak to her, but she would probably own, I'm guessing, half the road, and then I would own half the road. We'll split it right down the middle.
Likely. Those easements were abandoned 30 years ago, probably at this point. And Margot, was on the council back then. So it's a matter of the property owners agreeing to extend, like if you wanted to extend the road, I think as long as we can meet some sort of minimum standard, the town would eventually take that over. In other words, you can just make it a gravel extension and use it. And then at some point, if it was in the right condition, just like a developer would do, they have to put in a road that meets the county standards or the county won't take it. Right, so we don't really have that kind of, we're not in the road building business, right? So that part's a little bit fuzzy. That's the reason I want to make sure if you're thinking about buying any property that you still have access to what's already there, because the town will not be extending anything to try to reach you. So that's a good thing. It sounds like this property does touch this where you need to.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's the main thing.
And one other question.
Sure.
I did get a copy of the zoning ordinance. Can I count that street since it's abandoned as my 100 feet off the property line? Whereas I built my house. I'd like to build a house and a shop there. Is what I'd like to do. We're kind of a shop house, a barn dominium maybe, but I'm a contractor, so I've got trailers and trucks and welders and equipment and nowhere to put them. I'm working, outside. I'd like to work inside.
Okay, so explain that to me again, what you're talking about on the 100 foot.
Well, I have to be off the property line at 100 feet.
Yes.
So can I count that street, which is not, quote unquote, well, I guess it is now my property, as my 100 foot, as my property?
I think what that 100 foot, I believe that you're talking about is where you build if you build a structure on the piece of property, if you measure through the structure, edge to edge, the property has to be 100 feet wide at that point. You can have access that's only 20 feet into the property, and it can only be 30 feet as soon as you get on the property. But when you get ready to build a building, then that building has to sit on the part of the property that's 100 feet across. Is that not correct?
Like if it was a cul-de-sac, they were pie shaped, you have to get far enough away from the narrow part that it's 100 feet across.
Okay.
Where your house is.
Okay. Yeah. That's no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hadn't had an issue with that, but it gets asked a lot because it's a little bit confusing when you read it, and we've actually scratched our head on it a time or two to remind ourselves what that's trying to tell us, but that's what it is, because that's come up a few times. Your setback's only 25 or 30 or 45 or something feet off the road.
Okay.
You know, as long as the property's 100 feet wide when you start your building there.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, so I had somebody call about that on one of these Taylor properties not too long ago. Had that same discussion. Okay, and he did have an easement just to that, kind of to that point. There was also a little bit of an easement that they had created out here on Taylor Road for something. And that easement was was still on the property on his deed, but there was an easement, and that does count toward that 100 feet. Had it not been for that easement, it was only 97 feet across. But for some reason, they had created their own easement for Lord knows what. Anyway, does that answer your question?
That answers my question.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you coming, and thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you. Any other business come before the council?
I'll offer.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes, sir.
Motion carries.